Heart podcast. My name is Ben Collins, BC for short. I started this podcast to provide a platform for us to share and reflect on our collective stories and life experiences, irrespective of race, age, color, or creed. My goal is to help people be more self-conscious through raw, open, and honest dialogue about their mind and heart. Let's have a conversation. I'd like to find out how you've been. What are your life's experiences? What is your take on certain current events? And what would you say to a younger version of yourself if they were listening right now?
All right, hello. Welcome to another episode of Mind and Heart Conversations with BC. It's your girl Tam. I'm back. I am back.
That is right.
Joining me here today is our very own Mama Rose.
Hey,
hello. I know you must be wondering what happened to your host, BC? Well, today we're going to be doing something different. Your boy is on the hot seat. How you feeling, bro?
You know, it feels different being on the hot seat. Let me tell you people this. When you're doing the asking of the questions is different when you're sitting to be asked said questions.
Yes, sir. So today is going to be get to know BC a little bit better. We're going to be zooming in on your life. Some of your audience members did send you questions, right? So we're going to address those today.
Yes.
So my people, plug those earphones in, grab some popcorn, and have a seat. It's about to be interesting.
It's about to be lit.
Okay. You ready?
I am ready. And just to kind of add on, how all this started was I was talking to La Mère Rose, and then, as usual, in her usual fashion, she was like, I'm going to interview you next. And I was like, oh no.
I mean, no saying for them.
Yawa
don't gas.
And the chef at midnight.
But it's in traditional fashion, because usually I would say that's how Remy has been. Whenever I tell her something, she's always like, she's an out of the box kind of thinker too, you know. So I did not see it coming, but I appreciate it for sure.
And I follow in my mom's footsteps, because when I heard she was fixing to grill the bro, I was like, I want in on that. So, brother, how would you describe yourself in 5 words? What makes you you?
What makes you busy?
I would say the first one for me is going to be unusual. I think I'm unusual in that even since from birth, following the norm or traditional path or way of doing things, I don't know why. The traditional or normal way of doing things is fine, but I've always been kind of that person that I challenge the norms, and I try to think about different ways of thinking.
I'm laughing because he came out with the umbilical cord on his neck.
You see,
the umbilical cord was on your neck, so you were not coming out.
You see,
and so at a certain point you were getting off, you know. And so I had been in the hospital the whole time, and they were not saying I should wait. Now nothing is happening, you know. You start contractions, then they go back.
Right.
Until we stumbled onto Dr. Bernard Tabot. Daddy told him that I am in the labor room, but that the child is not coming. So when he came and examined me, he said because the umbilical cord is blocking the child from coming out. He was not on duty, but he had to forgo his break, came and took me to another room and had to send his hand and undo the umbilical cord from your neck before you came out.
You see.
Wow, you've been a fighter.
So that's why they said the Ben came from his name.
You see,
the Bernard, and then Collins was given by your uncle Ignatius.
You see,
Ben Collins.
So, but I have struggled a lot because the kind of confusion of my identity has been in that sense that on my birth certificate it says Ben Collins, but when you people are addressing me or calling me, you're calling me Ben.
When I came here to the States, they're calling me Collins. So it's not until recently that I finally put my foot on the ground. I say my name is Ben Collins. That is my first name, Ben Collins. So the first thing I'll use to describe myself, as I said, and thank you for giving that context, is unusual. I'll say I'm an unusual type of person, unusual in so many senses, in so many aspects. Yeah. So okay, that's one. The second one I'm going to say is I guess as I'm looking around even my desk, I would say positive, right? I think positive. And you remember this? I always have this book.
Hi, that is years ago.
I'm telling you, like a joke. I always have that book with me. And I think that
I'm very happy.
Yes, no, you changed my life.
Do you want to share the title of the book?
The title of the book is The Power of Positive Thinking for Young People.
Norman
Vincent Peale. Yes, and this book was given to me by my mother many years ago. And
but then, mommy, where did you find this book?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where did you find this book?
No, I'm actually
I'm curious too.
Like, how did you come across this book?
See, I went to one bookshop in Commercial Avenue in Mancon, Bamenda, and I was just going through the shelves and I stumbled on that book and I just read the content and I think the topics really attracted me. Right. So I bought a copy and read it, and I'm saying that book to change my life.
It changed my life, right? And funny enough, I've passed on this book, or I've given this book to so many other people, but the impact it had on them was not the same impact it had on me.
Exactly.
Right? And I read this book. I think for me, what I got from it was I realized that the key ingredient was mindset. Right? It was mindset. And mindset in the sense that I had been too hard on myself. I needed to understand that life has so many possibilities and so many variables, right? I just needed to have the mindset to excel and to just give my all and give my best. And know that, okay, well, this is my life. How do I want to go through it? What kind of attitude do I want to go, along with, and things like that helped me a lot. And it came from that mindset, the power of positive thinking.
We should not be stressing over things we cannot change, basically.
Yes. Yeah. The life is one life, one day at a time. Just do your best. So that's
so unusual, positive.
Determined as well. I'm very determined. When I set my mind on something, I will follow through. And I'm a big thinker. I think a lot.
I was just going to say Mr. Analyst.
I've thought about it, and I guess an example as we're discussing like this is this Mind and Heart podcast. Yeah, I put my mind on it. I feel that in the conversations that I have, whether it be with family, whether it be with friends, I feel there's an underlying tone, right? When you are being authentic, when you're being yourself, grounded, and things like that, there's a lot of good that comes there. And my goal and my aim is to connect us all through our shared experiences and just being human. Level with yourself, just be human, and let's find a way to coexist. Yes. So determined is another one.
Okay.
I am a people person too. I don't know if that's
the word maybe I would have said was connect. You're a connector. You are a people person.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Me too, I agree with that.
I think that one is a lesson that I've learned in so many respects, but mainly from my folks. This is my mom and my dad like this.
They're not all man.
They're not all man for road.
Just like what are you two? All man.
What do you think it started? Where do you think it's coming from?
Hey, Benzi.
I think I love because I try to see myself in other people, right? I try to relate in that sense, because in truth, the circumstance of birth was one of the most random things that ever happened, right? We could have been born in China, we could have been born in Japan, in Europe, in wherever, right? You don't choose your circumstances, but you're just born, you see. So to be born and then go through a period where you have lived life based on your experiences and things like that. I just try to see myself in other people and imagine, those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So
the last one I'm going to say is I try to be as authentic as possible. Yes, so find me as I am today, and I'm hoping that in 100 years you'll still find me the same. Unapologetically, yes, unapologetically myself. Authentic, I would say, is the other adjective I use to describe myself. Yeah, I think that's one thing I admire about you, your self-sufficiency. Like literally, what you see is what you get. You don't go about life trying to put on a mask or something or please people. That for the longest time, I've known that about you. So unusual, positive, determined, people's person, and authentic. I think that's a good summary of who you are. I would agree to that.
Yes.
The way you go about life and how you explain the impact that book, Reading the Power of Positive Thinking, had on you. I think that we could also see the change looking from the outside, right? I remember after you read this, but I think it was sometime like after Form 5 or something.
4. It was 4. I would never forget.
Yeah.
You remember, Ray, you gave me this book, and I remember the first thought I had, I was like, this woman like this, first of all, I'm already failing in school, right? Like I'm struggling in school and I cannot read those books in school. You are giving me an extra book to go and read in school. Like how? Like how? I'm telling you. And you eventually even snuck in this book in my box. Because I left it me. I was like, why would I read this book? I am struggling, She snuck in the book. But the day I started reading this book, I said the first day I opened it up, I was like, yep, this is it. I read this book until I finished. Then I was like, yes.
I will go, like literally, like you said, it was a drastic change. It was, even, I know that I mentioned that, you have always been the put together one, wearing your suit and everything, but at that point it was like being put together from within.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? The way you carried yourself was different. You went on to, somehow you even got inspired to read those books at school, right? Because I also think that's when your grades also took a turn around.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, by the time I left,
you became dormitory captain.
I became dom cap.
You were.
By the time I left Sacred Heart, now I was number 6, right? And the dom cap thing, even funny enough, when I was thinking about running for dom cap, I came and talked to Remy. I was telling Remy how I want to run for dom cap, and things like that. These are moments and situations that have marked me. I still keep them right in my mind. So I came and was talking to Remy. She had come for visiting or something like that, and I was telling her my plans and what I was hoping to do, this and that. And then she looked at me and she was just like, "Is it going to change who you are?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Okay, then do it." You never advised me on it. But moments like that have helped guide and shape me into who I am. Because I think that the longer point that she was trying to make was
stay true to who you are.
Stay true to who you are. Yes.
Yes. Exactly. That's what I wanted to tell you, that it shouldn't go in your head that you are now a dumb cap. No, stay true to yourself. One thing I would say is I put the book in your trunk. I was not even hoping to see it again, but you came back a changed person.
Yes. You did good, Lameros.
The next question is kind of related to what you just answered.
What is one experience from childhood that marked you positively or negatively? State one example of each.
Yeah, so the positive experience, this book, even just growing up, the thing that you people have helped with, right? And the way we grew up is the fact that we grew up in a diverse environment with, Ndengus, with, the Tafaks, the Tadanos, we grew up.
Anglophones, Francophones, Dominican, Basa, German.
We grew up. It was such a positive reinforcement in my life because
A cultural boiling
it was
pot.
a cultural boiling pot, and it showed me the possibilities, right? If I ever had a question about, can people coexist? Can families coexist, in harmony and love and friendship and all of that? Yes. The answer was right in front of my face, and the fact that even your brother, right, had traveled, he was abroad, he'll come back, your sisters, and things like that. So I would say growing up in such a positive environment, even when I talk to my friends and they are telling me about the familial journeys, I really consider myself fortunate in how I grew up. And
Exactly.
I thank you people for providing that healthy environment for us. I'm not saying by all means that it was just perfect and all rosy, but I think that the benefits of it have been long lasting. It has helped me be able to carry on conversations nowadays with people who don't look like me, to be able to relate to them, to be able to build a bond, build a friendship, and things like that. Those are things that started from before. In terms of a negative experience, I'll say boarding school was hard. Yes, boarding school was hard. Imagine coming home, you're number 80, and then the very next person to you is like number 4, number 5, you know what I'm saying? Comparatively, it was hard.
Can you imagine sitting in the same box with Thierry, who has passed number 4? Then you are sitting by him, number 80. Then you are coming to present your report card to your parents.
Even while you were in school, did you ever feel some kind of way?
Yes.
Like in the sense of how people will look at Thierry, right?
Yes.
And then they'll be like, where that Thierry, brother?
The second one come on now.
Where?
No, yes. No, for real. It was hard in that sense, right? And then knowing also how Repe is, Repe will give us the sermon on the mountain. Like Repe would talk to you as if you can just listen, fam. It was hard. To be honest, it was hard. But again, all those experiences have made me who I am today. Yes. The wins and the losses all equally have shaped
part of your experience.
part of my journey. Yes.
So now, what are some principles that currently guide your actions and the way you go about life? Share one of your core principles.
Being human is my North Star in the sense that if we want to think about anything, right, whatever it is starts from the fact that you are human. You're just flesh and bone at the end of the day, right? This is what makes me, for example, not be afraid to talk to somebody because, you're a manager, you're a supervisor, you're a CEO, or whatever. You're human. At the end of the day, that's the thing that connects all of us, right? And being human and having that as a base leads down so many paths. Once we have that commonality, we can then start having discussions about how can we improve our lifestyle, how can we improve, our communications, how can we improve ourselves. Whatever it is starts from that basis of humanity. Humans are creative, very creative. That one I give 100%. Look at the fact that we are able to, Remy, you're sitting in Cameroon, we are sitting here and we're able to talk and have this conversation. How did it happen? It happened because of creative minds. People were like, how can we bridge this connection? Cell phone, buildings, class, everything stems from human ingenuity. And dare I say, and dare I add, even religion, right? In many ways, it stems from that human ingenuity and creativity. So it's at my core. It's at the essence of who I am, is is critical. It's critical to be human. And when you're human and you're able to see yourself in other people, it guides the way you interact with them. Because if I have that basis, I'm not trying to do or say something that is going to diminish or hurt you because of that commonality that we have. You know, we are both humans. How can we figure this out? How can we navigate this path? How can we navigate life together? Life is as long or as short. For some people, it's complex. It's complex. And the thing that unites us all is our humanity.
You remember the first time Mange had a WhatsApp call with Thierry, Auntie Ellie, Auntie Pam, and Uncle Fedi, and then she was like, how did Thierry manage to gather his aunts and uncles in his house? She never understood that.
You see? But they were thinking in different countries.
I know.
Yes. Then I was trying to explain to her, are we in Thierry's house? That's when she realized that no, we were talking from Cameroon. So she realized what we were talking.
I know. The progression of technology has been wild.
My people, and I am preaching now. I'm really hoping you people hear me. I'm saying we have to leverage this tool. It is such an amazing, fantastic tool that we have to be at the forefront of it. Remy, you yourself can even attest recently when you were in Turkey, right? How Google was able to facilitate, your staying this and that. Yes, there are tools out there that we need to use, my people. I cannot emphasize that enough. We need to use those tools. Yes, we need to learn about them, know how to use them, and then teach other people. Yes. Technology is it's amazing. It's amazing. I play with the Oculus. The Oculus is a virtual environment where you can interact and sit. It's almost like you are there. This WhatsApp call or this video call that we're talking like this, at least you even know that you're talking on the screen. I'm telling you that Oculus thing, it's like you are there. It's like you are there.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good segue.
Anyway,
Do you want to share with us or the audience, what do you do for a living? Where are you now? Coming from Cameroon, you went to boarding school, all of that, came here for college, throughout. Where are you now?
So I studied actuarial science. What actuarial science is a combination of math, economics, finance. I did not want to be a math major, so I thought this was perfect because it combined a lot of those skills and things that I was interested in. I've always been interested in maths. I've always been interested in economics, finance. So again, this was just a perfect major or something that I could do. So I studied actuarial science, and then after that I got into the pensions industry. So I did a lot of retirement calculations, people who are reaching retirement age, based on mortality rates, based on several other factors, whether they're male or female or things like that, to be able to calculate the various defined benefit pension that these different companies had. Through opportunities like that, I was able to, I think this honed and helped me read a lot, because in order to implement the benefits, you had to know the benefit plans. You had to understand the designs and things like that. So in the process of doing that, I honed my ability to read a lot of complex information, to be able to apply it, because you also had to design your benefit calculator. Like you had to build your own calculator. They had system calculators, but you had to build your own so that you can test if the system is producing the right answers. And that part, into retirement benefits calculations, led me to manage a team as well. People who were here in the States, people who were global, India, Europe, other countries. And that path also led me now to be I'm a human capital consultant, and what that means is through a series and combination of projects, I make work better for humans so that humans can be better at work. So I will work on various process optimizations. I will work on communication materials. I will do project management, so a variety of things, but the end goal and the direct result is the betterment of work for humans. Yes.
I guess that also encourage your humanistic outlook on life.
Yes. The ability to zoom out. I zoom out from the sense that you take company A, for example, it's not just the employees. What is the bigger picture? That's what I mean by zoom out. You zoom out and then you see how you can make that organization work for its people by changing one or two things or bringing in things that would help motivate them, help encourage them. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you slice and dice it, it is the people who make the company, you see? So if the people are not happy, if the people are not productive, if the people are not doing, the company itself doesn't excel. No matter how you spend it.
No, human resource is the most important resource for a company.
Yes. And I have inspiration again from you, from my mother, who started her career as a hostess on a train and ended up, in human resources, you see? So you learn a lot of people's skills. Yes.
Okay. So what would you say is what's the favorite part of your life right now? What's your favorite thing?
I have a couple of things that I'm doing right now that I really enjoy, namely the podcast. I really enjoy that. I really want to build that. I want to scale it. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. The second one is I want to grow my own business. Yes, I'm a consultant by default. There are some things that you try to fight about yourself, and then at the end of the day, you just realize that that's who you are.
Mr. Connector.
Yes, I am a problem solver by nature. I am a consultant, connector, people person, driver. There's a book here actually that I read recently and applied some of the skills called business chemistry, right? And in terms of business chemistry, I am a pioneer driver. What that means is, as a pioneer, I am a creative. I always come up with ideas and how to do a couple of things, how to solve issues. And then a driver means that I know how to implement, and that speaks to that project management side of me, right? I know how to drive things. I know how to encourage people to accomplish various tasks. I'm excited too about this AI stuff. I think that there is a lot of potential there. And like I was mentioning earlier, I don't want us to fall behind this time. I really want us to capitalize on it, to be able to use it as a tool, the tool that it is, because it's a tool at the end of the day. But I'm really looking forward to us building a sort of empire, sort of business around it and leveraging its full capabilities, in so many aspects. So yes, I'm also excited about that one.
Leverage AI to take your connector personality or your connector skills to the next level.
That's right.
But actually, on the topic of AI, I have a question.
Yes.
When everything is said and done, right? When things have been mostly automated by AI, what would you like to do?
Connect with people. Because again, AI is a facilitator at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's just a facilitator. The same way we're having this conversation, right? It has facilitated this conversation. So I'm hoping that, we will continue to use AI in that sense to facilitate communications, to help bring us closer together, to build bonds, and things like that. AI is never... The people who are going to take over the future are the people who know how to use AI.
Yeah.
By itself, AI has no purpose. It's people who use AI to do stuff. So I'm just hoping to continue to leverage AI to be authentically myself, to help spread my message, to help connect me to the world.
I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I think you should teach people more about how they can also get on this wagon, right?
Yes. Remy, I've thought about it all, because one of the things that I really want to do is teach folks your age up or down, how to leverage these tools. So that's one of the things I can do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is a fun question. One of your people asks, which are the top 3 countries you would picture yourself living in, aside from the US?
For me to answer this question truthfully, I would need to have visited some of these places so that I can gauge. The only countries I've been in, Cameroon, Europe, Germany, and then here. So Ngang for Germany, for me, Cameroon is there, right? Now, if I'm imagining I want to visit some countries next year, so hopefully that would help educate my perspective and my answer on some of these places where I see myself living. Yes.
Considering the cultural variances and the surge in danger and violence everywhere, your take on having your kids study till high school in the US compared to them studying in Africa?
The education I received in Africa was really good, and I would hope that my kids can experience something like that. But as you also know, there's unrest, right? There's unrest in Cameroon, right? With the whole Anglophone, Francophone crisis, and then compound that with everything else that is going on. So there's unrest everywhere. There's things are uncertain. I'm hoping that in the future things subside, the unrest subsides, and that we can build the kind of community that you guys remember this on one of the last calls we had. I talked about legacy. We need to change our mindset to start thinking about that legacy, how we are creating it for the next generation that's going to come. And I'm hoping that we are creating that an educational environment where kids can flourish, kids can be creative, and that's in order for us to get there, we also create an environment for adults to flourish and to be good, so that the community itself can be safe, and things like that. Whether it's in Cameroon or whether it's here, I hope we can spread and build that kind of community. I would like my kids personally to have, in their whole educational journey, to have some of that in Africa as well. Yes. I don't know how much of it, but I would hope, if it's a majority, it's a majority. If it's less, but I would want them to study in Africa. Yes.
If you met somebody today who was thinking of moving to a foreign country for work or for school, whether in Africa or in Europe or anywhere, what advice could you give them?
I will encourage traveling outside of your country, just because then you're going to be exposed to these different experiences. I will also advise keeping an open mind. Don't come with pre-assumptions of something. It's true that your history should educate, right? History should educate your perspective, but at times set that aside and be flexible. Meet the person who you're meeting and experience that experience for what it is, rather than coming to the table with all these assumptions about what should be, what should not be, this and that. So keep an open mind. Keep an open mind to the experiences that you have. I would say and recommend also build a community, build a network around you, of people who can support you, whether it's mentally, whether it's, emotionally, or whatever, and give. Because in order for you to be able to build those things, you have to give that thing yourself. Because sometimes I find that is the issue with people, is that they just expect all these things to happen, but they themselves are not putting that out to the world. So be open also to be emotionally available to somebody else, physically, mentally, or whatever. Be open to reciprocate those things that you kind of expect. I will also caution and advise to be financially cautious, right? Because you're moving to a foreign country. The help and support that you had from a financial perspective immediately will not be as immediate as it is in a foreign land. So whatever you have, manage it well, right? Live within your means, educate yourself, find out about the culture there, find out about market conditions, be open, immerse yourself in the experience, be cautious, guard yourself as well, because there are some people out there too who take advantage of you, who are trying to misguide you. Yes.
On a lighter note, If you could meet one famous person, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
My personal hero is Obama. Oh. I want to meet Obama. I want to ask him. I want to get his perspective of obviously being president, but being the first Black president. It must not have been. Yes,
What was it really like?
Correct. It must not have been easy. I'm sure.
Not that be easy, but what really motivated? How did he think he could win?
You to just wake up with this crazy dream like this and then really pull it off. So, and he did an excellent job. Again, not a perfect man by any means, but, I would say I felt like his heart was in a good place and that he did the best he could. Yes, and he made us very proud. So I would like to meet him and just have a chat with him, get to know him better, and introduce myself as well. And, yeah.
Say, I'm gonna be like you, bro.
I wanna emulate you, bro.
BC for president. I say that again. BC for president.
Seems like an interesting guy.
Like, how there's some people that when they talk, they own the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're doing, you're like,
who that? You're like, who's that man?
There are very few people I have listened to that get my attention like that, and he's one of them. Okay. What's one weird flex for you? What's one thing that people don't know about you? What's something that you low-key like really enjoy?
Most people don't know that I'm a gamer.
True that.
Most people don't know that I'm a gamer. I play video games. I enjoy video games. Yeah. I do because I see what's funny, and I'm going to say this, the way things are playing out in society and life actually is a reflection of the things that have been happening in video games for a long time. Y'all may not see it that way, but I see that way. I see the connections. It is low-key. The thing, AI, for example, is such, for me, this is the reason why I'm so into it. It is such a response to these things that have been going on in the video game environment for so long, right now, for example, one of the games that I played, and I used to play with my ex-boss, one of my ex-boss, is Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans, the essential message there is community building. You are literally building a community. You are, farming, you're mining gold, you're mining this and that. You're building your walls, you're building your castle, you're building a community. So I love playing games. I play my PlayStation 5. I have a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One. I have an Oculus, so I would say that's probably something that people don't realize is I enjoy playing video games. Yeah.
Okay, to wrap it up, what will you tell young BC based on your life experiences so far?
To the younger version of myself, stay true to who you are. Read The Power of Positive Thinking. Continue to be open to experiences. Be strong, be brave, and use your voice for good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And take it easy, bro.
And take it easy.
One day at a time.
One day at a time, or it is one day at a time, I'm telling you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been real. This was a great takeover.
Y'all did good. Y'all did an amazing job. It was good. It was a fun, productive conversation. I love it. Thank you, people, for hosting me.
For your podcast.
of interviewing me. I really appreciated it, and I love you too very much.
Oh, we love you too, bro.
Let me read you you people something that I posted there. I don't know if you saw this. It says one of the most powerful ingredients for having a good life is a clear conscience. To know you aren't out here doing people dirty, hiding who you are, or screwing people over lets you sleep peacefully at night. Karma is real, energy is contagious, live accordingly. So
exactly. It's very nice, very good.
In all things, do everything with good intentions and put your best.
Yes.
Put your best.
Exactly.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and hopefully picked up one or two relatable moments or experiences. I strongly believe we're all connected through our shared experiences, and my goal is to unite us all through these various mind and heart conversations. I look forward to having a mindful conversation with you next about your life, your experiences, and your take on current events. Stay tuned.